In the world of intrigue and drama on The Young and the Restless, secrets are always revealed. This episode promises to bring the audience a series of thrilling details, especially the confrontation between Daniel and Sharon, along with the complicated family feud between the Abbott family. The fateful confrontation between Daniel and Sharon, the investigation into Heather's death has caused everyone to fall into a spiral of lies and suspicion. Daniel is accused of being the murderer, but the truth is much darker. It all comes from Sharon, who cleverly planted evidence to harm Daniel. This detail makes the audience curious about the next developments and what Sharon will do to keep her secret. Sharon, in an effort to cover up her crime, does not hesitate to make up a series of stories to deceive Chance, the investigator in charge of this case. In the lie Sharon created, Heather admitted to her about the difficulties in her marriage with Daniel. This not only put Daniel at a disadvantage, but also made the authorities suspicious of Heather's relationship with Daniel. However, the truth always has a way of coming out. Daniel, determined to clear things up and prove his innocence, planned to confront Sharon directly. This was definitely the moment everyone had been waiting for. Could Sharon handle the pressure from Daniel, or would she finally confess everything that had happened? Sharon was pushed to the limit. As things became more and more complicated, she continued to dig deeper into the hole she had created, hoping to hide all the lies she had done before. But could Sharon continue to cover up the truth forever? Part of her felt extremely guilty and horrified by her actions. This sense of guilt is growing, threatening to destroy everything. What's more frightening is that Sharon is gradually losing control, and hallucinations of Cameron, a ghost from the past, begin to appear more and more. Cameron takes control of Sharon's mind, making her more and more confused. The confrontation with Daniel is not simply about the truth, but also a psychological war with Sharon's own demons. One wrong word, one wrong step can push Sharon into a more dangerous situation than ever. Abbott family feud, Kyle's betrayal and unforeseen consequences. While the war between Daniel and Sharon is tense by the minute, the Abbott family is no less chaotic. Jack and Diane, two people who already have a complicated relationship, now become even more tense after their son, Kyle, betrays the family. Kyle stole the product formula of the family company Abbott, causing an unforgivable betrayal in Jack's eyes. This incident not only affected the business but also caused a rift between the Abbott family members. Diane, in anger and frustration, publicly declared that she was done with Kyle, no longer seeing him as her son. This was a dangerous move that could have had far-reaching consequences. While Diane's actions may have been a momentary outburst of anger, it had the potential to leave deep and lasting wounds in the Abbott family. Jack, in anger and frustration, asked Diane to leave the Abbott family home, no longer wanting her to live with them. The two had a public argument, and this left Kyle with complicated emotions. A part of Kyle may have felt remorse for betraying his family, but that may not have been enough to make him abandon his plan for revenge. The rift in the Abbott family is growing, and this will certainly bring many consequences in the upcoming episodes. Victor Newman and his evil plan to target Jack. In the midst of all this chaos, Victor Newman, a man who always knows how to manipulate the situation to his benefit, has come up with another cunning plan. Realizing that Jack has kicked Diane out of the house and the situation in the Abbott family is getting more and more tense, Victor decides to take advantage of this opportunity to carry out a new plan, recruiting Diane into his plan to fight Jack. Victor, with his intelligence and wisdom, knows that joining Diane, who is currently estranged from Jack, can create a dangerous alliance. Diane, in a state of hurt and anger after being kicked out of the house by Jack, can easily be drawn into a plan of revenge by Victor. Can Diane refuse this invitation, or will she join the war that Victor has planned to bring down Jack? Victor always knows how to attack his enemy's weaknesses, and this time is no exception. His goal is to make Jack pay dearly, and Diane could be the perfect tool to do so. Once Victor makes his move, it will be difficult to predict his next move. In the world of intrigue and strategy on The Young and the Restless, every move can have deeper implications than it appears. One of the biggest dramas to come is the power struggle between Jack Abbott and Victor Newman, with Diane Jenkins and Kyle Abbott also in on the scheme. Jack and Diane's relationship has been inexplicably strained lately. Victor, with his cocky and powerful nature, believes that their marriage is on the brink of collapse. However, smart viewers will realize that something is not right. Are Jack and Diane really having trouble, or are they staging a strategic drama to fool Victor? Jack and Diane, despite appearing to be struggling on the surface, may actually be plotting to deceive Victor. This has become a major plot point, as Jack emphasizes that Victor's cunning nature may be his downfall. Both Jack and Diane knew that if they could make Victor feel confident that he had won, it would create a false sense of security for him. This could be the key to turning the tables and catching Victor off guard. Jack and Diane's deliberate attempts to make their marriage appear to be falling apart, especially through public confrontations at places like the sports club, seem to be part of the plan. The harsh words Jack uttered to Diane in public were not just a coincidence, but a way to reinforce the impression that their marriage was indeed on the rocks. Victor, always confident in his ability to read situations, would easily fall into the trap they had set. Jack and Diane were not alone in this game. Kyle Abbott, their son, may have also been involved in the plan to deceive Victor. The relationship between Kyle and Victor was already complicated, with Victor always looking to use Kyle to achieve his goals. Jack and Diane, however, knew this, and they may have used Kyle as part of their plan to deceive Victor. Kyle, with his loyalty to the Abbott family, may very well be playing a dual role, working alongside Victor but actually acting under the direction of Jack and Diane. It is also interesting that Jack and Diane may have devised a plan to deceive Kyle in order to make him a pawn in this war. Kyle himself may not have realized that he was being used in this scheme, which only makes the deception all the more perfect. Claire Newman, the key player in the game of deception. A new character who emerges in this story is Claire Newman, Victor's niece. Claire has repeatedly offered to help Jack, which suggests that she may be playing a key role in the ongoing web of deception. Claire seems to have drawn everyone's attention, including Victoria and Cole, to the tensions between Jack and Diane. However, the question is, whose side is Claire on? Is she really part of Jack and Diane's plan to deceive Victor, or is she just a neutral character caught up in the family feud? Jack has implied that Claire may be deceiving her own grandfather, and if so, she could be the key card in Victor's downfall. Claire is more than just a supporting character in this story. If she is indeed working with Jack and Diane, then drawing Victoria and Cole's attention to the fake tensions in Jack and Diane's marriage could be part of a larger deception. Claire is playing her own game, and that could have dire consequences for all involved. Deceiving someone like Victor Newman is never easy. He is experienced in power struggles and has always been unpredictable. However, if Jack and Diane can make Victor believe that he has won, they will have a great advantage in this battle. Victor, with his cocky nature, may be easily fooled by the drama that Jack and Diane are putting on. He may feel that their marriage is falling apart, and that is his victory. However, if Victor is too confident in his victory, it will make him let down his guard, and that is when Jack and Diane can strike. Claire's constant offers to help Jack and attract the attention of Victoria and Cole are just part of a larger plan. Claire may be helping Jack and Diane deceive their own grandfather, and if that happens, Victor will not know that he is falling into a trap that has been prepared in advance. The confrontation between Daniel and Sharon, the feud between the Abbott family members, and Victor Newman's sinister plans are all approaching important junctures. They are all walking on a thin line, and one wrong move could bring everything down. Sharon is losing control, and her lies could soon be exposed. Daniel, in an effort to prove his innocence, will continue to pressure Sharon to tell the truth. And the Abbott family, with their wounds still raw, will face difficult decisions about their future. All of these developments promise to bring memorable moments to the audience. The truth will be revealed and relationships will be tested to the limit. Who will be the winner in this game of intrigue and lies? The biggest question now is whether Victor Newman will really fall into the trap set by Jack and Diane. With his cautious nature and keen reading of the situation, Victor is not easily fooled. However, his complacency and confidence may be a weakness that Jack and Diane will exploit. The power struggle between Jack Abbott and Victor Newman has entered a new phase, with more intrigue and complex plans than ever. Can Jack and Diane deceive Victor to win, or will they face fierce revenge from the Newman boss? The answer is still open, but surely the audience will not want to miss any moment of this dramatic story. The Young and the Restless continues to bring tense, emotional episodes and unexpected twists in the battle between Jack, Diane, and Victor.